I am basically going to cover each individual. I will cover what Brad had just said, basically at CBC, away from CBC, and contributions to CBC in their lifetime. So we'll start with Alex Filoni. And I basically, as Brad said, there's a nominating committee. It goes before the board. And then Joe and the board basically come back to me and say, everybody passed. And I get the honor of calling each one of them. And it's really a blessing. It's a gift as such to be in that position. It's quite a proud position as such, and yet a humbling position to be able to do that. So the first individual here is Alex Filoni from the class of 1950. Alex, unfortunately, who knows about Filonis? Who doesn't? That is part of Alex and the family over here. Rosetta and I actually went to see Alex. He's in a home across from the Magic House. We found it, we sat with him. He was in a wheelchair, he was fully dressed. He was very cognizant of what was going on. It was just a blessing again, being able to tell him. It wasn't always on the phone with some of these gentlemen, it was actually in person with Alex at the home, basically telling him that he has this honor and having his daughter Rosetta there with me. Again, he was very cognizant, he knew what was going on, and he was very happy about the honor. Trying to think, I didn't blow this up far enough for my eyes. But you can tell, and I'm not going to read all this in there, I'm just going to paraphrase it. Thanks, it's not because of that. You can see in here the number of individuals that are part of Alex and Rosemary's family that have gone to CBC. Vic is probably at one of the stores, either Filoni's or Uncle Leo's place, running the shop or whatever. And also we have a son-in-law here from 78. You actually can see in here that the Filoni's were very much involved when their sons were going to CBC, very much involved in regards to the auction. Of course, his years here, you can see in here that you know, he was captain, he was in a baseball team, football. I don't know if everybody knows what the auxiliary club is. I'm sure like 62, you know. Now we have the car raffle. Well, in the old days, we basically sold prayers, really what it turned down to. But there were blue cards or whatever, and you went out and people paid perpetual membership, which unfortunately only worked for 1 year or whatever. But it was $100. And as you made your quota, you became part of the auxiliary drive club. Now we don't have that as such. We have the car raffle, and they do outstanding in regards to that. After CBC, as I was about to say, Alex and Rosemary definitely involved with CBC, showing to Rosetta and Joe. Joe's parents as well were very much involved, always present. Being members of the Parents Club and being very much involved. And you can tell here, one of the things, and it's a quote from Alec, all I want is to have my family together. And you can actually see that when you go to Filoni's, of course. I haven't been to Uncle Leo's yet, but I don't even know if we're going to get your grandson to sing or what, but they're singing, they're bartending, they're just having a lot of fun serving food or whatever. So in Alex's position, the class of 1950, we're going to have his lovely bride here, Rosemary, give a few words and accept the honor.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm sure that he would have been so thrilled to be here and so proud. He loved CBC, he loved all his friends. He made a lot of friendships over the years, and he will be missed in this building. But he did love everyone, and thank you so much for this honor.
You want to get a picture? I'm going to have you stand again and get a picture of you. If you've ever been to Filoni's, back in the back there's a big round table. And at that round table is where you would always find Alex Sr. holding court, welcoming friends and family as well. Our next honoree is Art McManus from the class of 1962. We have family here, and we have a whole class over there who just celebrated your reunion. So these guys have been on campus, I don't know, for the last week or so, somewhere. So it's good to see you again. Oh, it says 62 here. Uh-oh. Misprint here. Well, I just gave you 2 years on your life here. In your favor, huh, Art? Art had a music scholarship to CBC. We don't have those anymore. I hope you know. There's no such thing as a scholarship. So back in those days, you were very much involved with the band and the pep band, but we don't offer scholarships anymore. You know, people look at you and say, oh, that running back, that soccer player, whatever it happens to be, is on scholarship. They're not. It's all based upon need and financial. So you did it on talent. Very little, he says. Oh, you're humble. Honor roll student, tennis player, a class officer in the military, engineer club, which are resurrecting, quite frankly, with engineering classes and hopefully some STEM here shortly, and Elzier Grenadiers. I don't know if you saw when they did the PowerPoint over here, and Patrick in our communication department had a lot to do with it, Emily as well, but the Elzier Grenadiers were up there as one of the slides. It may have been the class of 62, though. You can look here and see in his professional career, he was involved with Mitty, Laclede Steel, Carrier Air, district manager, commercial zone manager, worked at Marco Sales, and then increased the sales there, and then he took over Earth City Distributing. I believe that was your father-in-law, wasn't it? And he humbly says here, increasing the sales volume substantially. I'm sure, again, you're being humble there, and it's a code word for tremendously, I'm sure. Oh, you talk about, in his days, he was talking about the football team. Unfortunately, for about 10 years in a row, they lost to that school down the street. Remember those days? This was back in the late 50s or whatever. And if you actually get the football program nowadays, you'll see those records, and you'll see that the tables have definitely turned. And they did turn in 1960, as you well know, with, Shannon was 57. So at that particular time, you beat them 12-0, and we continue to carry on that fine tradition. In his own words, he's talking about the greatest educational experience of CBC, have so many memories and friends who he considers brothers. He talks about the admissions program and Jimmy Brockman, who is not here this evening, but very much involved. He's an assistant principal as well, involved in admissions, and because of that, you have one of your grandsons here, and 2 grandsons are actually on their way to Philadelphia. I hope they've got there safely so far, and they're going to go up there for the papal visit. So I know you're very proud of the fact that following up with you is part of the family and grandchildren as well. You hear me talk about stand-up campaign. There were 1,000 donors, and Art was definitely part of that and a significant part of that. So from the class of 1960, Art McManus.
Oh, my. Thank you very much. What a thrill. I just wanted to say I'm really thrilled to have this honor. This is an incredible honor. When you look at the names that are on the Hall of Fame, it really is overwhelming, and I am so proud to be amongst them. I joined a couple of my classmates in that, and I hope I can measure up to their standards. I'm so happy that I have my family this evening. That's my wife, Barbara, who I took to the Promenade Militaire 55 years ago. And then I have my 2 daughters, Debbie and Carrie, and my son, Mike, and their spouses. So we're, and I don't want to forget, I do have my 3 grandsons. We have 9 grandchildren, but we have 3 grandsons that currently attending CBC and enjoying the cadet experience, and it's wonderful. The other thing, I wanted to say thank you so much, because to my class who would show up, I didn't realize we were going to have this many, and it's wonderful. We've had a great group. We've really had a wonderful group. We've had a lot of highs and a few difficulties, but basically we've been strong and supportive of one another, which is kind of ironic when CBC now has this motto, Brothers for Life. And here we are, we're actually living that reality. What a gift that is, and we're so proud of that. The other thing is, I really feel, I don't know, I'm really worried about how much time I'm taking, so I'll be a little quicker here. I'll jump to my end here. I am so proud. I just tell the administrators, the teachers, the coaches, that all these successes that you have had on the athletic field and on the school, in the school academically, with the ACT scores, the number of scholarships, the number of credit hours, and it goes on and on. And then you look at your band, something I'm kind of happy with, and I see they win 13 awards at the Nashville the Music Festival. And then you look at this sports program, 3 state championships last year, 18 Final Fours in the last 3 years. I mean, and #1 in the state of Missouri. You really make the alumni very proud. And you validate the decision we made years ago when we had to figure out what high school we wanted to go to. We really made the right choice. CB was great in the 50s, in the 60s. It's even greater today, and it's poised for a great tomorrow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I will treasure this. God bless.
I think I'm going to sign you up in our marketing department. He actually received the CBC today, and there's a whole page delineating some of the things that he was talking about. So we appreciate that. You know, you talk about brotherhood and brothers for life. Men for tomorrow, brothers for life. Unfortunately, I had to go to a funeral today. It was Jim Shield from the class of 51. He actually was a year ago in this room and honored to be in the Hall of Fame at that particular time. But my point is that if you look across St. Clements, there must have been 20 individuals from CBC. And it made you feel good inside about being there, being present, but also it spoke very much so about the brotherhood and the community and the presence here of the class of 60 and other people over here for Tick and his class. It speaks, you know, of the brotherhood back then, and you can say that today it's even stronger, but it still exists as such, the feeling of community and that of brotherhood. The next individual from the class of 1979, if anybody wants to borrow his coat for future use or whatever, I think he'll leave his phone number around, but love that purple there. David, 1979. He, like the Filonis and the Miners, has parents, Nick and Rita, who were very, very much involved with CBC as well when you were here at school in many different capacities, Parents Club and auction and all that. He has a son, Ben, from the class of 07. While he was here, he played hockey. He was on a drill team, which of course is part of the military at the time. National Honor Society, Key Club, and Honor Roll. Key Club, which you'll see in here, is actually was created by Brother Dale Mooney, who is a board member, and it was here at CBC in 74 to like the mid 80s or whatever. And the Key Club was really, you were asked to be part of it, but it turned out that basically you were custodians. You basically cleaned up after every event as such, and you did it out of joy and all that, but that was the idea behind the Key Club and Brother Dale. So David was definitely part of that. I believe John over here, Angel Beck, was part of it as well. You can read a lot about Nick and Rita had the Maytag service company, and David's done nothing but improve that and grew it. He's been involved with the Manufacturer Service Council and the trade organization boards, and he also has St. Louis Appliance. He's also very forgetful. Sometimes you'll call him, and we have a microwave back there in the faculty dining room. It must have been 10 years old before they were even created or whatever. It was a box. And you put a minute, and it probably you had to go 10. And by then, the lunchtime was over or whatever. I called him and said, hey, can you do something? Of course, the very next day, he brought something out, and I go, where's the invoice? Oh, it's coming, it's coming. Well, it's still coming. And that's true with other things as well, with David and his involvement. Very much involved with the auction and the golf tournament that we have every year. In his own words, I witnessed time and time again the CBC staff helping young men grow in character, leading them by example. And as you well know, a number of them are here in the room, and very much a part of that service and that mission, the LaSallian mission to our young men. So I give to you David Augsburger, class of '79.
That was my sister's. All right. Oh, and Kevin, too. As Michael said, on this occasion, I'd like to remember my parents. Without their great sacrifice, I would have never had the opportunity to come to CBC. They also helped me establish some basic core values that the teachers and staff here at CBC nurtured and matured. To be considered part of the Alumni Association of Hall of Fame is a recognition which is truly remarkable. Thank you to my friends who initiated my nomination, my sisters, my brother's not here, my fiance who is here, and my good friends. Thank you to the Alumni Association for believing that my life has lived up to the qualities and standards of this great group. Thank you very much.
Joe let me realize, Joe Gunn, that unintentionally I skipped somebody. Oh, a couple people, didn't I? Oh, well. You know, I told you about art in regards to stand-up, but also David was involved with stand-up as well. Let's see. We'll go to John Seiler here. You can tell that there's a number of family members in the Seiler family here that have gone to CBC, starting with that cantankerous father of his, Red. There he is, right there. Huh? Cranky, but a heart of gold. Class of '54, and you can see his brothers, Ken and David, and then his son as well, Kevin, a graduate of CBC. During his time here, he played football, and he also was a member of the Key Club. So Brother Dale and working after events and all that. You can see his professional career here. Dad started the company, and then it moved on into John, and then now and his brother as well, continue the tradition of running the company and doing very, very well. And from the company, a lot of donations to CBC in regards to the golf tournament, in regards to auction, and like I said, stand-up as well with John here. Got to find the rest of your sheet here. Give me that. Yeah, you're like Ticket Check. He's got like half a page or something like that, you know. But if you wait till he gets up here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, so another part of it is that when you can see in the last part there, that when he was here with his son, he too was very involved. We talk about the miners and the Filonis. He was also involved. He ran the Father-Son Banquet, and then he was also Father of the Year, which is a distinction that's held at the Father-Son Banquet on an annual basis. So I welcome John Seiler to the podium, and our next honoree here for Hall of Fame of CBC.
Thank you, Michael. I guess I had a speech written, but I'm not going to give it. I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to my father, Red Seiler, and my mom, Barb Seiler, and my sisters for joining us this evening, and my daughter. And about the only Hall of Fame thing I did at CBC was they never started detention my senior year without me there. I had a very large afro, and it was orange, so it was very difficult to hide. Thank you very much.
Next, well, let's see. I can't skip a tick. You're like one page in here again. Say, where in the world is that? As I said, he's going to get up here and he'll talk forever, but I have a hook that, for your sake, that we engage ourselves in, you know. Here you go. All in the family, himself and his brother Chris, his son Dan, graduates. Dad, I can't talk about you. He went to his dad. Gene, I'm sorry. He went to that other school down the street. But I have to tell you that Gene has been generous over the years insofar as Gene has a scholarship at CBC, which is endowed. So we're very appreciative of that. We have Steve's nephew, a graduate, and then his son John, right here, all dressed up as a sophomore here at CBC. His memories, you can see they're quite simply my classmates who are represented here. I don't know where the girls or ladies are tonight, the brides, but we've got a whole table of the class of 78 over there. And it says here, quite simply, my classmates are my memories, and many of which are whom remain my friends to this day, and evident, obviously, with your presence here. So, Stephen, class of 78, our next honoree here for the Hall of Fame.
Well, I'm not going to, well, first of all, Michael, thank you very much, and I'm not going to disappoint you. I will be long-winded for you. I would like to thank the CBC Alumni Association Board of Directors for electing me into the Hall of Fame. And gentlemen, my fellow inductees, and Mrs. Filoni, and behalf of your husband, it's an honor to go into the Hall of Fame with each and every one of you. If you would please forgive me, I'd just like to recognize some people at my table, friends and family that have joined me here tonight. First of all, I've got my sister and brother-in-law, Sheila and Ed, are here. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. I've got some friends of the family, Kim, Kathy, and Will. Believe it or not, Kathy was my date to my junior prom, the last promenade, the La Promenade Militaire ever held by CBC. And Will has served our country as a member of the United States Marine Corps, as so did my father. So again, thank you again to all the veterans out there. It's okay to clap. They're the vets. Yeah, they've done a lot for us. All right. And the other thing I want to do is, instead of thanking my parents for being here tonight, I just want to tell everybody how thankful I am that they are here tonight. It's not lost on me at my age that I'm very fortunate to have both my parents still with me. But it has been a bumpy road. My father, a year and a half ago, lost a leg to diabetes, and my mother has been fighting ovarian cancer for over 2 years. But they're still here, and quite frankly, they're the two strongest individuals I've ever known in my life, and I realize I am very blessed to have them as parents. Okay. Oh yeah, and then there's my kids. As Michael had already mentioned, my son is my oldest son graduated in 2010. My daughter is a 2012 graduate of Ursuline Academy, and my son John is a sophomore. And if he continues to study hard and pass his drug tests, he will be a graduate in the class of 2018. Make Daddy proud now. Okay. Yeah. There's one more thing I'd like to say to my three children. Dan, Kate, and John, I'd like you to know that to me, the three of you are proof that God exists and that He has blessed me far, far more than I deserve. And now, let's talk about CBC, right? When I found out I was being inducted in the Hall of Fame, I thought to myself, how do you sum up what CBC means to you in a few short minutes, right, brother? Or Michael? And you can't, but all I can tell you is it boils down to two things that to me, it keeps me connected, and I think most of us, to CBC. Number one, it's the teachers. It can't be the school. The school is completely different from the one that I attended on Clayton Road. When we were there, I mean, when I say the teachers, the faculty has dramatically changed, though, also. When we were there, half the teachers were Christian brothers, we had lay teachers, and we had military instructors. Now we're down to basically just the lay teachers. And by the way, to speak of military instructors, our senior military instructor that year was Lieutenant Colonel William Patton. Yeah, Patton. So when I was an incoming freshman at 14, I thought, really, the name's Patton? I thought, I had pictures of me getting slapped around by George C. Scott. And, you know, I thought I better behave and not pull what I pulled in grade school. But it's the teachers, and I have now seen the dedication and the commitment of the teachers here at CBC from two sides, as a student and now as the parent of students. And I can say to you with great confidence that the LaSallian tradition is alive and very well here at CBC. And the other thing that keeps me connected are the guys that I went to school with, especially my classmates from the class of 1978. You know, several other speakers have mentioned the new phrase or the motto, men for tomorrow and brothers for life. That was not around, that phrase was not around when we were in school, but other people have referenced it, and it is so true. It's my classmates that have made CBC mean so much to me. So I would like to ask my classmates from 1970 to please stand and remain standing. Come on, don't be shy. All right. And guys, you know, men for tomorrow, brothers for life. Well, I hope we got the men part right. I'm sure chronologically we did when I look around the room. But the brothers for life, we've known each other since we were 14. You have been my brothers, and you will continue to be my brothers for life. So I say to the class in 1978, St. John Baptist de La Salle, live Jesus in our hearts.
Steve, this is probably the first time I've seen Joe Sullivan out there with a sport coat on. You really brought it forth in that class there. I was around here in '78, so kind of know those guys. I think I taught a few of them possibly as well. Came in '74, yes, that's true. Brother Augustine, Brother Dale, Brother Joel, Brother John, a lot of people. Our next honoree is from the class. Are you really 84? Holy mackerel. There's a youngster here. Chris Saraceno. He's got his representatives here. Obviously the table over here, but then he's got some good friends from the hockey team in his class. So glad to have you guys here, all alums. I'm sure he'll recognize you in his few words. There's a tradition that I don't know when it started, but if you were on the football team of late, every Thursday there's a meal. And I think there's another meal on the weekends, whatever. And those meals just don't happen. They get pasta and they get salad, a lot of pasta. And Chris is one of the restaurants that faithfully does this for them. Now, if you're soccer or some of the other teams, they may do it once or twice, but football does it like 9 or 10 times a year. So we're talking about a big commitment on his part, as well as a number of other restaurants. So I'm talking about the Bartolino family that you probably know about. I'm also talking about Chris's pancake. Let's see, soccer, 4 years. What else? He what? Oh, soccer. He was also in a state title, 1984, his senior year. Also, like his son here, JP, involved in the student government. If you look at all in the family in this thing here, I think I count up 14 individuals who's associated with Chris here who are graduates of CBC. And then at no, that was Ticket Check that said that he was related to the Joes family. Heavens, if you're related to the Joes family, that right away brings about 20 or so, doesn't it, John? Dad, all the sons, the grandsons and all that. A few things in Chris's own word. He was very happy to attend CBC as a positive change in my life forever. As CBC has changed buildings, the Men for Tomorrow, Brothers for Life saying goes on for 165 years. Tradition and the legacy of LaSalle education is certainly alive. As we honor the past this evening, our eyes are focused on the future. I didn't know you were a philosopher here. This is great. Our role as alumni is to help support the CBC mission of Men of Tomorrow, Brothers for Life, as today's graduates continue to make a positive impact in our area, region, country, and all over the world. The legacy we pass on from generation to generation allows our brotherhood to last throughout our lives. So our last real honoree into the Hall of Fame, Chris Saraceno.
After reading that, I don't think I have to say anything, but I did prepare a little bit of a script. It's not long, 15, 20 minutes, so no, I'm joking. Well, first, I'd like to congratulate all the Fuller Hall of Fame inductees tonight. Congratulations. It's an honor to share this evening with you, so congratulations to all of you, okay? Let's see. I'm speaking for myself, I'm sure, as the other inductees here tonight and all the inductees that came before us, the reason we are so willing to provide the service for our alma mater is that we truly believe in the mission of St. John Baptist de La Salle that he instilled 165 years ago and is in CBC, still carries on today. I'd like to thank my parents, honestly, for allowing me to attend CBC. I said it in the book, and it really changed my life forever. I'd also like to thank my wife, Joan, who I did take to prom here at CBC, not this building, but where it was prom, I don't remember, but it was a good time. And my children, Christopher, Nicholas, Natalie, and John Paul, for their love and support. They make me the person I am. Thank you to the administration, faculty, and staff that is here and that has come up to me tonight and we've talked, and for your outstanding dedication and commitment that allows CBC to be one of the most sought-after high schools in St. Louis. I say one of the most, but the most sought-after high school in St. Louis. So thank you for carrying the tradition and preparing our young men for their futures. I'm proud to call myself an alum of CBC. I'm proud to have two boys, Christopher and Nicholas, who are alum of CBC, and John Paul, who will graduate in 2016, hopefully. I think he will. I'd also like to recognize my family who are alums, my brother-in-law, Jim Simon, Tom Valmer, a fellow CBC Hall of Fame inductee, my nephews, Michael and Anthony, Thomas Valmer, Jimmy Simon, James Sindelar, Patrick Hendricks, The CBC family tradition of educating generation after generation is what makes CBC truly a special place. And in closing, to the administration, faculty, and staff, please continue the great work you're doing here as you continue to make significant impact to so many young men's lives. So thank you and continue your great work. I'd also, off script a little bit, I'd like to recognize my 84 class up there. If you guys don't mind standing up, please. John Jost, I think he had a little something to do with me being up here. Danny Dolan, all the guys, thank you. It's a great class, and it's a great class, and great to be involved with you guys and continue to be friends today. So thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your evening. Thank you.
I don't know if you noticed, but there was a mistake back there when he asked the class to stand up. There was one gentleman who was, I don't know, what are you, Jack? 1922 or? Yeah, Oates. Holy mackerel. Yeah. So we're finished with the Hall of Fame individuals. Every once in a while in this actual ceremony, we actually bestow on someone who is not a graduate of CBC an honorary degree called an honorary alumnus for CBC. And this evening, the committee has nominated and the board has approved Brother Paul Meyer. You can see in here, Brother joined the brothers in 1964. He's from St. Genevieve. He has actually served in 3 different locations of the brothers: St. Joe, Cincinnati, and here, of course, at CBC for, was it 34 years so far, brother? You can see that he was actually a teacher of mathematics back in the earlier days. Love the geometry and that, but you can see educating cadets and serving as a welcoming friend to all of our community since 1981 is part of Brother's life. Last year he celebrated his Jubilee as a Christian brother, which is 50 years of commitment that he has given to the brothers. He goes on to say that CBC has offered me a unique opportunity to explore a variety of interests, and I have learned that I have many talents, which indeed is the case. It is really nice to see as many students have that same experience during their time here at CBC. I think last year, we had 4 brothers here last year. We were blessed. We're blessed, Father, here being present in the community, and we are unfortunately down to 2 brothers. So these young guys, you know, if you want to think about a religious vocation, you know, the brothers is a wonderful opportunity. So we're down to 2 brothers. One is Brother Bill Brenda, who's a graduate. Brother comes in to help tutor, and brother's back here in the back. And the other one is Brother Paul up here, who's ever present everywhere, you know. He's like the reincarnation of the Key Club that I was talking about before. He really is everywhere. If you see him after a football game, he'll be coming around with a bag to pick up trash and make sure that the next event, which with Bartoni over here, it's like every day there's 2 or 3 events, which is good and using the facilities and all that. But brother's always around making sure that it's in tip-top shape. Usually walking around in a flannel shirt. We tease him about wearing the collar, but he did find one, I think, for last weekend and then tonight as well. So 51 years of commitment to the Christian Brothers, 34 years here at CBC. I've been fortunate to live with him in Cincinnati and also here in St. Louis. He's a wonderful community person, really involved in the community, up at 4 o'clock in the morning, out at some club swimming or exercising or whatever. Great Cardinal fan, loves the theater, loves the symphony and all that. Definitely does enjoy St. Louis. Oh, food? Yeah, he is a pace maker or whatever. He's supposed to be on a salt-free diet, but he doesn't always follow that, do you, brother? So I want to recognize and call to the podium our honorary alumnus, Brother Paul Meyer.
Good evening. I guess they saved the best till the last. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the CBC Alumni Association for bestowing on me this wonderful award of being an honorary graduate of CBC. In 1980-81, Mike Jordan, then as a brother, asked me to consider coming to CBC. He said in that letter, which I still have, that there is a great need for me as a brother, person, and the use of all of my talents. Over the 34 years that I have been here, I certainly have stretched myself in areas that I thought I would never do, and so forth. But, well, right now, let me see here, I'm taking quite a few antibiotics to kill an infection that I have, well, he was right. During those 34 years, I was able to do many things from A to Z, but most of all, touching the hearts of all who I have had in contact with. May God bless all of those people, and may CBC live forever. Live Jesus in our hearts.
I'm not going to give it to him. I have to read it first, if you don't mind. This is the diploma. Hopefully, JP and John, that you'll get one of these days if you make it, as your fathers were saying or whatever. This certifies that Brother Paul Meyer, FSC, has satisfactorily completed a course of study prescribed for graduation from this school, and therefore is awarded this diploma given at St. Louis in the state of Missouri, September 24th, 2015. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations, brother. You join I think, honorary alums, we have, what do we have? Less than 20, I think, right now. So quite an honor, of course. Jim Miller over here, Tom Murray, our two, oh yeah, Al Schifford in the back there. Is Al still there? Al's one of our teachers here. So quite a distinct honor as such. I've introduced the faculty and the staff that are basically here. I want to thank Joe and the board and everybody else who made this evening possible. Again, I congratulate all the Hall of Fame members and Brother Paul also as honorary alumnus. I thank you all for being here, and it's always good to see a lot of familiar faces. It says something about each one of you that you're definitely no stranger to CBC. So we need the honorees for this evening to be out at the Hall of Fame Alumni Board, if you could, for pictures. St. John Baptist, De La Salle. Live Jesus in our hearts. Thank you.